Lillian Burns was married to George Sidney, a director, and Lillian was our dramatic coach on the lot. If you had to be under contract to MGM was the greatest of all the studios. They treated us like, well, in cotton batting. It was like a city unto itself, MGM. You drove through those gates in the morning, and I thought, what a privilege to look up and see Leo the Lion in neon lights. And with the pink was just coming over the Pacific in Culver City, because you had to be there like 8 o'clock in the morning. Had our own hospital, doctors, dentists. They even got our own passports and did our taxes. The finest backmen in the world, Garbo used to go back to them, and Harry Cohn, they all came up with this wonderful backman. Dr. Mitchell. They had operatic coaches for people like Mario Lanza and Katie Grayson, Ezio Pinza, and singing coaches for the jazzy ones like Marilyn Maxwell and Judy. We had the great Kay Thompson. And it was a magnificent institution, but Lillian Burns ruled with a heavy hand. By that I mean she helped all of us. We wouldn't think of going home at night without going over our lines for the next day with Lillian. I miss her. She should be here tonight.
Janet said that Miss Burns would get her ready, and they just wheel her over to the set to do it. That's what Janet told me.
Janet was better than she gives herself credit for.
I wanted to ask you, what was it like? Your first film at MGM was with Gable and Lana Turner. How was that?
Big mouth. She knows everything. Somewhere I'll find you with Lana and Gable. I was scared to death. Here I used to write this man fan letters. We became great pals afterwards. But Wesley Ruggles are all with the helmets and the guns, and we're going into Corregidor or wherever it was in those days, Okinawa. And we're in this deep trench, and Wesley Ruggles said, you climb through all the soldiers in the trench. I had to go through Keenan Wynn and Key Luke and all these other actors.
Stop walking, please. Stop walking.
Will you stand still, for Christ's sake? Jesus Christ. Go backtrack, Van. So I had to crawl through all these actors and soldiers to get to Gable and Bob Sterling. And then I had a long speech. And I look up into these great big Gable eyes that he had for so many years. I thought, this is a man, I got through it. But Wesley Ruggles said, well, that was pretty bad. And that's how I began my 20 years at MGM. Gable and I laughed about it. I could have killed him afterwards, but that taught me a lesson to be as kind as I could and helpful to any young kids that are coming in to do a small part with me.
How was Lana Turner?
A dream. I worked with the weekend at the Waldorf. Yes, beautiful. A pro. Beautiful.